I challenge you to a duel.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Movie Duel podcast. My name is Peter and I am your host. On each episode of the Movie Duel podcast we select a subject based around movies and then my co-hosts each pick a film that they think best fits that subject. The only rule being that you can't pick a film that has already been discussed on the podcast. However, you are finding us at one of our special Quick Draw episodes in which I invite on a very special guest to talk about the movie duels of past. I give them some of the subjects that we've discussed and get them to make a selection of their own. Now, very, very special episode, this one. I had the absolute pleasure of sitting down and chatting with filmmaker and writer Jed Shepherd, known for his work on the fantastic Rob Savage films Host and Dashcam, as well as a fantastic string of short horror films. He also worked on the Blair Witch Documentary that was released as part of the anniversary edition release of the Blair Witch Project last year. And he's just a fantastic guy, an absolute great guest, loves horror, as we all do here at the Movie Duel podcast. And it was just an absolute delight to chat to him about some of his picks for the subjects that I chose for him. So without further ado, the usual warnings, there's some mild spoilers and some strong language in here as well. But very much hope you enjoy Quick Draw with Jed Shepherd.
I'm scared to close my eyes. I'm scared to open them. I'm gonna die out here.
So Jed, so welcome to the Movie Duel podcast, Jed.
Hey, thanks for having me, Peter.
How are you doing?
I am good. I'm excited to be here to talk about horror.
Well, I mean, this is an absolute dream for me because one of my absolute go-to subgenres of horror is found footage. It's something I absolutely adore.
Nice.
From 1992, watching Ghost Watch live on Halloween night, it's just something I've been transfixed with, and obviously the Blair Witch Project in 1999, and you know, I think two of your biggest sort of works are within that genre as well.
Yeah. Found footage is my thing. Have you seen the Blair Witch documentary that I made?
I haven't. No,
I'll send you it. I'll send you a link after this.
Oh, amazing! That's amazing. A friend of mine got the DVD release or the Blu-ray release, and he was one of the first ones to order it, and he's been apparently sending it to me because it got reissued because of the sound. There was a sound problem with it or something.
Apparently there was.
Yeah.
I can't notice a difference.
And he got sent another copy, and he said, "Oh, I'll send you my original one." That was about a year ago, and so if you could send me the link, that'd be amazing. And Ben,
I will do.
Ben, if you're listening, you need to send me that.
Yeah, no, it's Blair Witch Project is like, instrumental. It's the template for even though it wasn't the first, it was the thing that became synonymous with the subgenre. So yeah, I owe a lot to Blair Witch Project. I'm actually working on a bunch of things with the Blair Witch guys as well.
Oh wow.
Yeah, various different projects that we're out pitching places.
Can you say much about that?
One, because I think we have said on social media before, we are trying to get a Blair Witch TV show going.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so early days, but like it's looking a lot more promising than it did about a year ago. but yeah, it's something like, Ed Sanchez has been trying to do for a long time.
Mm.
And then,
Well, I mean, there's a lot
I
of
came
history
along.
to there's a lot of history to that sort of Blair Witch Legends, isn't there?
Hmm.
The whole the whole backstory, and what always fascinated me about the original Blair Witch project was that the sort of fake documentary that they made. Is it the Curse of the
Hmm.
Blair Witch? I think it's called.
Yeah.
That appears on the
Hmm.
DVD, the original DVD, and it was shown. I'm sure over here it was shown on like the History Channel or something like that. So
Discovery, I think it
was it
was
Discovery?
Discovery.
And
Hmm.
it's just the lengths that they go to sort of carve that narrative of the Blair Witch is just amazing, and all the stories that are just
Yeah.
within that little documentary. Rustin Parr
Hmm.
and the Ellie Kettridge.
Ellie Kedward.
Ketwood, that's it. Jesus Christ. Sorry. It's I'm
Oh, don't worry that you forgot the name of the witch which is never seen in the movie. Don't worry.
yeah, but your Blair Witch project is in my top five. I'm a podcaster, so
Nice.
I have these all prepared. It's one of my top five horrors.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So I should
It's so
know.
good.
I've seen it so many times.
But yeah, so we've got that going. Then we have there's a bunch of other things that we are doing together as well. I'm a producer on a bunch of short films with Eduardo Sanchez as well, which we've produced recently with Roman Coppola as well. Me, Roman Coppola, and Ed Sanchez. We're on a bunch of short films together. And yeah, it's just our sensibilities are very similar.
Mm.
Myself and Ed Sanchez, so it's only a matter of time before we kind of combine forces and try and do stuff together.
I had a bit of a mad delve into your short films
Oh yeah,
over the last
nice.
couple of days. After listening to, because I've mentioned to you that we had or you went on a friend of mine podcast, Sean Panda Nicholson,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Four Songs and a Dream, but it was retitled Four Films and a Dream, I think,
That's right.
for your film. And you talked about them on there, and I just not to this is going to sound totally like I'm blowing smoke up your ass, and I'm not. They are fantastic. They're
Oh,
absolutely
thanks.
fantastic. I
Which ones
mean,
did you watch?
so I watched Salt,
Nice.
which is what, 2 minutes, 3 minutes,
2 minutes. 2 minutes. Yeah.
and it's just incredible with the incredible
Thanks.
Alice Lowe as well.
Alice is amazing. Yeah.
And then I watched Absence
Yeah, yeah. That was the first thing me and Rob did together. Yeah.
again, amazing, and Paul
Yeah.
McGann, Eighth
It's
Doctor.
that's what I was excited about. The Eighth Doctor. That was our first short. Like, we made that for £300. That literally that
Jeez,
short film.
wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that
And a
looks
lot of favors.
yeah, I didn't know where that was going either, and I was like, wow. Oh. But yes,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
it's both great, really short films, those ones. And then
Yeah. Oh, thanks.
I watched Dawn of the Death,
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah.
which again, I was like, where is this going? Because it's incredibly dark
Hmm.
with one of the sort of subplots of the story.
Oh,
And
yeah.
to say
Yeah.
that what I think that's about 12 minutes, a 12-minute
Yeah.
film,
Something like that. Maybe a little bit shorter.
a
Yeah.
12-minute film that's got subplots.
Yeah.
It's just bananas, but it's fantastic. And I just is there, or was there any plans to make any of them into sort of longer films, full features?
Yeah, we've done deals on all those all those films, like with studios. Like, I don't think any of them have been like properly announced, but yeah, we did a big deal with a streamer for Dawn of the Death, and then we did a big deal for Salt as well. This was like a few years back. Who knows if they're going to
Mm.
happen? That's what happens, you know. Like you sign the contracts and you just assume, oh, this means a film's going to get made. It doesn't necessarily mean that, but you know,
But
um,
Dawn of the Death definitely has,
yeah,
that sort of feel of it could be that sort of next thing that the zombie genre needs
yeah,
to inject a bit of life into it.
I
It's
think so. Yeah, like that one. We had I pitched that idea to Rob like in the very first time I met Rob, like the first thing I said to him was, I got this idea for a film. It's zombies, but like not as we know it. Um, and yeah, he was into it. But then we had to make Absence first, just because it's easier to make than Dawn of the Death. Um, but yeah, no, I would love to see the the feature versions
Mm,
of those shorts. I'd love it.
me too. It reminded me of, you might know the answer to this.
Hmm.
It reminded me of a few years back. I saw like an anthology horror film,
Hmm.
and there was a zombie. I mean, I'm saying it reminded me, just in terms of its sort of ingenuity of the story of Dawn of the Death. But um, one of the segments in this anthology was a zombie segment, but it was a guy who was a living statue, and he's in the middle
Oh.
of this sort of town centre, and this
Hmm.
zombie apocalypse is starting, but he's got to remain as a living statue. It's only like a 5 6 minute
That's a
part of this
great
anthology, and
idea. I'd love to see that.
I cannot for the life of me remember what the film's called. It had some quite interesting little segments in it. Some of
Oh,
them were not the best, but I remember just thinking that's a
I'll
genius.
track that down. That's a really good idea. Yeah, I like that.
But yeah, if you don't know, I'll have to dig into that a bit more deep. But
No.
and if I may, I need to talk to you about Host, because Host, I
Sure.
think,
Yeah.
is one, if not the best horror movies of the last 10 years. I think
Thanks.
it's, again, I'm probably totally sound like I'm blowing smoke up your ass, but
No,
I
no,
don't care
no.
because it's true.
Thanks. I appreciate it. No, I love Host too.
But it was fun. It was something that really instilled that sort of feeling in me of me when I was 9 10 years old watching Ghostwatch,
Hmm.
because you're so drawn into that story, and it's so genius of the setup, the Zoom call, and everything else.
Hmm.
And I'd watched it a couple of times when it first came out, and then I rewatched it with my partner a few weeks back, just out of pure coincidence before I got in touch with you and everything.
Hmm.
And it just blew me away again. It's just so great. And I mean, how did that did that gestate within lockdown, the idea for that film?
Yeah, everything from conception to making it to it being released was 12 weeks basically, all during lockdown.
Wow.
But obviously, like me and Rob had, we had a working relationship
Mm,
for 10 years before that, making short films. So we kind of knew the beats that we liked, and we knew kind of like how we worked. And the opportunity just came about where we were bored during lockdown and we wanted to make something. And Rob had done this prank video on our friends, and I recorded it on Zoom. Luckily, I recorded it on Zoom, um, and sent him the footage that was recorded on the Zoom. It's just Rob scaring everyone, and then put that 2 minute prank video online, and it did really really well. And then people just like the concept, so Rob called me up a couple of days after that prank video was online and said, "Do you have an idea, like a feature idea off the back of this? Because people are asking." And yeah, and like the early hours of the morning, I messaged him and I just said Zoom seance, and off the back of that, Rob pitched that to Shudder and some other places, but Shudder was the only one who wanted to give us the money during lockdown.
mm,
So yeah, so I'd love to say that we planned it to be like as kind of good and big as it became, but none of it was expected. And yeah, we just used our friends, as our real
yeah,
friends, who we were zooming with the whole time during lockdown. And yeah, so everyone who worked in it was just mates.
yeah,
And that's why it feels like really organic. And with
yeah.
found footage films, like the more authenticity you can have in it, the more likely it is to scare you.
Mm,
So because the whole thing was authentic, like we were literally having Zooms with those people you see every single day, multiple times a day sometimes. So
yeah.
yeah.
Wow. I mean, who? So what was? I've not seen this original prank video. What was
Mhm.
the prank?
So Rob called me one day and said, because like just before lockdown, me and Rob had a Sam Raimi movie lined up that we were working on, and the momentum of that just because of the lockdown, just really slowed down.
Mm.
So no, I know Rob was like it affected Rob. He was like a bit depressed about it. Um, so he just called me and said, "Hey, I wanna try and do a prank on our mates," and that was just to he was saying in Zoom calls that there was a noise in his attic, and he was seeding it for like a
Uh,
few weeks, and then he showed me what he wanted to do, which is basically climb up a ladder to his attic. Something would jump out in the attic, and then
right.
he would fall down and die. And yeah, so I was just like, this is makes no sense. And then yeah, we got our mates on Zoom. I was texting, especially Gemma. I was like texting Gemma. I was like, Gemma, you really should come on Zoom. Like, we really, really come on Zoom. So the people who ended up on that original Zoom were the people who basically in our friend group who responded to our kind of message. So, but the original Zoom prank had Kate Herron in it, some other friends of ours that didn't make it into the movie, and I was obviously in it too. Um, but yeah, it worked well. Rob pretended he died, and I just recorded the Zoom and just and then that
So you,
was
you were
that was
there
it.
sort of ramping up the realism then in like the real concern and everything. Or were you
I
just sat watching
That's
everybody
it.
react?
Well, I just didn't think it would work on our friends, but it really did. But I still think that the prank is a little bit stupid. But like, it made people interested in a kind of Zoom-based horror, I guess.
Yeah.
But then the seance idea, like I introduced, and yeah, it worked out really well.
Well, I mean, it's just incredible. I mean, it is. I mean, I'm a hardened sort of horror fan now in my forties, and it's like I think that is genuinely the last film that scared me in places.
Yeah.
Genuinely.
You know, it's scary, and we didn't think because obviously it's our friends and we know how the sausage is made, so we didn't actually think it was going to be scary. We just thought it'd be funny,
Mm,
and then when everyone started saying it's like the scariest movie, and even now, like when it tops like scariest movies of all time list, and recently on Rotten Tomatoes, is this it was down as the seventh best horror movie of all time according to Rotten Tomatoes. I'm just like, what is going on? This is
mm.
this is nuts. Um, but no, like obviously, I really appreciate. I don't think it's when it's up as the first or second scariest movie of all time in those lists every year.
Mm.
I don't think that's true. I think Ghostwatch is way scarier than Host, but I do appreciate the love.
I can tell you, Ghostwatch was scarier at 9 years old than Host, definitely.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
nowadays, I
But
don't think it's.
being a fan of Ghostwatch, did you know at the start of Host, the Zoom login, the code is 31101992, which is the air date of Ghostwatch.
Oh wow,
That's the Zoom code. Yeah,
wow! No, I didn't know
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Oh, that's
yeah.
amazing. That's amazing. And then obviously you follow up Host pretty quickly, really, with
hmm
Dashcam,
hmm
which is another. I think that made my top five
Oh,
of
nice.
2021. And
Thanks.
again, it's found footage, so it's already right
hmm
up my street. But I,
Yeah,
I the the thing I really love about Dashcam is that you manage to create a character that you can genuinely hate in
yeah,
who
yeah.
is your main antagonist, protagonist, antagonist, or
Protagonist and
somewhere, yeah,
antagonist.
somewhere
Yeah,
in the middle, and
yeah,
just an epic follow up, 1-2 with Host and Dashcam. Amazing, amazing
yeah.
films.
Dashcam is way more crazier than is it like the last 10 minutes of Host is basically all of Dashcam, just
Mhm.
like crazy stunts and cars flying all over the place and explosions and puke and feces. Yeah.
Love it, absolutely love it. But unfortunately. You
Hmm.
know, I could sit here and talk all night about your work because I think it's amazing, and thank you very much for bringing it to the world. But obviously, I've invited you on to one of our quick draw episodes. So
Yeah.
these are where I invite a guest on to talk about some of the movie duels of past,
Hmm.
given the subjects that we've discussed in the past, and invite them to make a selection of their own, and obviously talk about our selections as well.
Hmm.
So, Jed, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, let's get into it then. So, we're going to start right at the beginning, episode 1, the most underrated sequel ever. This was myself with original co-host Liam, which we talked about my choice
Hmm.
of Predator 2 from 1990 and his choice of Gremlins 2, the new batch, also from 1990. So, have you seen both of those?
Yeah.
Do you like
Yes.
both of those?
Yes. I like one of them more than the other.
Okay,
I love Gremlins 2, the new batch.
okay.
Predator 2 is a decent movie. Um, but I think Gremlins 2 pushes the envelope a lot more. It's Gremlins 2 is so interesting, and it was like meta before like the Scream franchise, you know. Um, yeah, I think Gremlins 2 is a genius movie. I absolutely love it. I actually watched that more than the original Gremlins.
Yes, same.
Um, it's a yeah, great movie. But both of those films are very underrated. But my I'm gonna throw in something into the mix. I My favorite underrated sequel is Waxworks 2 Lost in Time. I don't know if you've seen Waxwork 2,
Yeah,
but like, Waxwork is a good movie. And basically, for those who don't know, it's about a waxwork museum that is where the waxworks come to life and murder people. Waxwork 2 is so interesting because it's about the trial of the girlfriend of the protagonist, played by the guy from Gremlins, Zach Galligan, and he has to prove his girlfriend is not a murderer because all the deaths from the first one was blamed on his girlfriend. So
yeah.
he travels through time to prove that uh, like objects can come to life. So he goes, but instead of going through time, he actually goes through different movies. So he goes to he goes to Aliens, he
Yeah,
goes to like a Hitchcock type movie, and it's incredible. It's nuts.
it's
So yeah,
very ballsy to sort of
very
go
ballsy.
to those lengths, and
Yeah, he goes to Godzilla. It's insane, but it's really underrated, and it ends on like a rap song over the credits where the cast are dancing, and it's such a '90s thing. But yeah, that Waxwork 2 Lost in Time
Waxwork
is
2.
my
God, I haven't watched that for yonks.
yeah, it's great.
I haven't watched the original for a while either. I remember watching that and think, and
Yeah.
I having not sort of knowledge or slight sort of knowledge of who the Marquis de Sade was as well. And so as soon as he turned up, I was like, oh Jesus
Yes.
Christ, where are we going with this? But
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not too bad, to be fair. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
a bonkers film. I'm surprised that hasn't sort of been remade. I don't think it's been remade, has it? But it just feels like that would
I
be.
would I would love Yeah, I'd love to remake Waxwork. But I have a bunch of films I want to remake before that.
Night of the Comet.
But yeah, no, it's a great franchise.
Excellent.
100% Night of the Comet, yes. I'm trying. I'm really trying.
I was going to ask you how far, if you'd got any further with that. Amazing.
For years and years and years, I've tried. The rights are really messy because they're like co-owned by a bunch of different people in different territories. But I know the cast and the director and really well. They would love me to do it, but
Yeah.
we'll see. They've tried to remake it, but the excuse is like the audience isn't there for it. But you make the audience by making like a good film, so
Yeah.
that's what I think. But we'll see.
Boo to them.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we're moving on to episode 4. So this was entitled Childhood Trauma or Kids Films That Scared Us, with my choice of Return to Oz from 1985 and Liam's choice of The Watcher in the Woods from 1980. Now, not many
Hmm.
people have seen Watcher in the Woods.
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, excellent.
Yeah. Both good movies, though, Return to Oz is by far the better film there. Such a good movie, like just an amazing movie. Um, yeah, everything about the movie, like TikTok is amazing. The bit to this day, every time I see something green, I touch it and say Oz, like because of like Return to Oz and how they get their friends back. Um, but I think Return to Oz is the classic childhood trauma
Oh
movie.
God, yeah.
It's hard to beat that. Yeah.
I actually had a friend, and she was dating a guy, and it turns out his dad was a matte artist who worked on Return to Oz. I
Wow.
can't remember his name; it escapes me at the minute.
Nice.
But he had this box of
Hmm.
also because obviously at the end of shoots and things like that, I think he worked on one of the Indiana Jones,
Hmm.
Return of the Jedi, a load of other films from the 80s. Obviously, we're big
Wow.
on matte paintings and stuff for the film, and
Hmm.
he had this sort of box of things that were given to him, his dad at the end of films and things like that. And he had this miniature TikTok, little cast iron miniature TikTok. It took
Oh.
it took all my effort not to swipe it and put it in my pocket. But, you know,
Oh, TikTok's way. I would like to see TikTok turn up in other movies. He's so cool.
yeah, maybe if the I don't know. I don't know. I think maybe with the
Well,
popularity of Wicked, we could see something.
yeah, that's true. Here's a little insight into something. I don't know if you've seen I did this short film for Netflix. Was it last year it came out? Called Flashback.
Oh right,
Um,
yeah.
and it's like a time travel thing, but there is a moment in it where where the protagonist, played by Gemma from Host, is traveling through time, and she goes back to a school play that she was in where it's Return to Oz. So so
Oh.
I made all the kids dress up as Return to Oz characters, including TikTok, and yeah, it's
Oh
great.
wow.
And like Netflix, said, why did you have this in it? And I was just like, it's kind of cool. It doesn't make any sense, but I just wanted to like do Return to Oz. So it's like this
Yeah,
really cool backdrop as well.
yeah.
Um,
Well,
so
there you
yeah.
go. I think that maybe there's call for a new Wizard of Oz, and then they can do Return to Oz after that,
Oh well,
and
yeah.
get you on board for that,
100%. I'd be into it.
and traumatize a whole new generation of children.
Yes, exactly.
Excellent. But is Return to Oz your answer? Then you won't throw anything else into the mix?
Yeah, I mean, there isn't anything even near to Return to Us, so it's got to be that. If I was going to pick something else, and it has to be like a PG film, right?
Yeah.
Um, no, nothing beats Return to Us.
No.
Yeah,
No.
I
I
think
thought.
that's
I
it.
think I
Yeah,
thought. If I remember rightly, I toyed with the witches for a good chunk of time, but it's still Return to Oz.
yeah, but is that traumatic? Maybe when you first see them. But nothing beats, seeing the witch in Return to Oz with all the heads and stuff. That's freaky as hell.
Ugh. That bothered me for years and years. That did.
Yeah.
Um, anyway, we'll move on to some real disturbing horror with episode 13 and our worst horror remake. This was
Hmm.
Vanessa's choice of The Wicker Man from 2006 and my choice of Rob Zombie's Halloween from 2007.
So interesting.
You're going to say you
Obviously
like both of these.
well, the Wicker Man, the Nick Cage one is, it's not great. And his performance is really over the top, but it's not terrible. Um, And like I actually like Rob Zombie's Halloween.
No.
I think the the later Halloween films, more recent ones, are way worse than Rob Zombie's Halloween.
Mm.
Uh, um, so like Halloween Ends. Actually, it's just a bad film, real bad movie.
Yeah.
But I think the worst horror remake for me is the Nightmare on Elm Street remake.
Right, yeah, it's come up quite a few times, that one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just it just didn't understand the franchise properly. Didn't
No.
understand Freddy Krueger. Messed up on basically everything. And the amazing actors in it, like everyone who, like all
Yeah.
the actors in it, real good actors. It's just the story really let them down.
Yeah.
Um,
And I remember it having some really cool sort of concepts, and obviously, know a lot more in sort of scientific terms about dreaming and sleep and everything else.
mhm.
And some of those bits I thought were really sort of fascinating. The micro naps and the,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
it still being your brain's still alive for 7 minutes or whatever it is that he says to him. Really
yeah.
cool and gnarly sort of concepts, but then it's everything else around it is just so awful. And
I just think,
Jackie Earl Haley should have
yeah,
been perfect casting, but
yeah.
they make him look like a walnut.
It's just it's just really hard to get the balance right with Freddy Krueger. Like, Robert Englund, he's really hard to beat, and it's just difficult because, like, do you when you're making Nightmare on Elm Street films, do you go full on, comic like Freddy, or do you try and make him scary? And it's hard to find that balance. It really is.
Definitely, definitely. And they keep threatening it again, don't they? I
Oh
think.
yeah, yeah. I'm sure there'll be TV
Surprised me.
shows, and I'm sure there's going to be loads of that stuff.
Well, I mean, you don't really see. I mean, with Jason and with Freddy, there seems to be those sort of really sort of long periods. I mean, they don't really give a shit with Michael Myers. Every 5 years, it's
Yeah.
like clockwork.
Hmm.
It's like having a regular um, bowel movement or something. Certainly with
Yeah.
some of the later ones, anyway. Uh,
Well, I think it's like who owns, like, if Blumhouse owned Nightmare on Elm Street, for instance, we'd have 5 films by now.
yeah, probably.
Um,
Yeah.
but they're starting to own every big horror franchise, so eventually I'm sure it'll happen.
Well, I mean,
Because they're rebooting Saw, the reboot, the Exorcist movies that are coming out. You know,
I'm surprised we haven't had that more sort of conversations about crossovers and things like that. I mean, you're sort of
Mhm.
seeing a lot more, especially within the superhero genre. Things like No Way Home and the Flash and stuff, where they're bringing in the older versions of the characters and the cross sort of universes and stuff.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you would think,
I'd love to see all that. I still get excited by Freddy appearing at the end of one of the Friday the 13th movies and drags
Jason
Jason
Goes to
down to hell.
Hell. Yeah.
Yeah, drags him down to hell. That is almost more. That's better than the Freddy versus Jason movie.
Hmm.
Just that one part of the film, just because it's so out of nowhere. Um, so yeah, I love crossovers. I'd love to see more of that happening.
I'd love to see there was a sort of a couple of comic books, I think, of Freddy versus Jason versus Ash from Evil Dead,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
they're really good stories as well,
Hmm.
amazing stories. I mean, the end of, I think it's the first one, um, all of Jason's victims come back as deadites.
Deadites. Yeah, yeah,
It's just and that would be so cool, but we're probably never going to get that.
yeah.
Certainly not with Bruce Campbell, anyway. I wouldn't have thought.
No, no, I
But
don't
there
think
we go.
so.
So then moving on to episode 25, which was the best 80s comedy, with my choice of Airplane from 1980 and Vanessa's choice of Heathers from 1988.
Both really really good choices. I prefer Airplane to Heathers. Um, I know some people might not agree with that, but no, Heathers is great, and obviously the cast is amazing. But Heathers never really, you know, got me as much as the other kind of like the John Hughesy type movies.
Mm,
So like 16 Candles and Breakfast Club, and I think Breakfast Club for me is my favorite 80s comedy. I know
okay.
it's sometimes it's a drama, but like I think for me, Breakfast Club has everything that I want in a kind of an 80s coming of age like kind of comedy. Planes, Trains and Automobiles as well, if we're going the John Candy route.
Yeah.
That for me is probably the funniest movie of all time for me. Um there's so many to choose from the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. Okay. Okay, so then episode 29, which was the best slasher sequel with Vanessa's choice of Bride of Chucky from '98, and Jamie's choice of Dream Warriors from 1987.
I mean, Jamie's spot on it. The answer is Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, Dream Warriors. It is the best one, to be honest. There's very few slasher sequels that can top the original.
Mm,
Um, but yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street 3 does it. I do like 4 as well, but it's just like in the shadow of 3 too much. 3 is just perfect. Like Freddy is, Freddy again after the second one, which people like now, but like it was a bit of an abomination back in the
yeah,
day, just because it wasn't scary, but like 3 is scary, and just
yeah,
those kids are so cool, and um, and but most of the Nightmare on Elm Street sequels have something about them that
yeah.
are really interesting, like a new Freddy Power, or a cool new character, but
Well, I think it's
yeah.
like it's like you said about the getting the Freddy character right. I think between the sort of scares and the comedy, and I think part three gets it pitch perfect. It's that performance
Yeah.
is absolutely spot on because there's no comedy in the first one, or there's no
Hmm.
not. Oh, well, you could argue maybe I'm your boyfriend now, or whatever is maybe a bit of a quippy line, but
Yeah.
in the part three just nails it completely, absolutely perfect.
Oh yeah. I mean, if I was to give a shout out to one of the other ones, it'd probably be Wes Craven's New Nightmare,
Mm.
just because he tries something a bit different, and Freddy coming into the real world is scary to me. So because he's the scariest, horror antagonist there is. So him
So
coming to
it
the
was
real world,
just ahead of its time, I think, wasn't it?
yeah,
New Nightmare. I think had that come a few years later, it would have been more of a box office success. I mean, it was definitely a critical success, and the fans of the genre pretty much, lapped it up. But
yeah,
it's,
exactly.
and I think the same for part two for me as well.
Mhm.
I'm a big fan of part two. I think it's just placed very wrong within the series. If that had come as sort of maybe part six or something where you're looking for something a little bit different, I think it would have worked
Yeah,
a lot better.
the thing about part 2 is like I get angry when I watch it just because it doesn't make sense. You know, like the rules of Freddy, it's established in the first one, and the second one just kind of breaks that. And Freddy coming out into the real world, or out of a dream in the second one, it doesn't make any sense. Like, why is he at the party? It just doesn't make any sense. But like in context, like it's cool, but
Yeah,
I'd rather watch 3.
but it has got a demon bird in it, a demon
It,
budgerigar,
yeah, it does. Yeah, absolutely crazy.
and demonic towel slapping as well, which is probably,
Yes.
yeah, indeed. Okay, so I think that's probably a good point to just take a little break. We'll be back in a moment. So this is the intermission. This is the part of the episode in which I ask my guest a random question, a question that they haven't prepared for, and get their honest first answer. So, Jed, are you ready for your intermission question?
Yeah.
Okay. So, obviously, you've worked quite recently on the Blair Witch documentary,
Hmm.
um, and I'm going to take a wild punt and say that you're a fan of movie documentaries.
Yeah.
So, what do you think is the greatest movie documentary?
Wow, that's a really good question. Um, I mean, there are lots and lots of good ones. I really like Jodorowsky's Dune. How
Yes.
I think that's a really, really well researched and well made film documentary about what could have happened if
Mm,
Jodorowsky did Dune instead of David Lynch. Um, so yeah, that is really, really up there for me. And the same people made the shark exploitation movie recently as well, which I
yes.
thought was
Yeah.
very, very good too. So yeah, maybe Jodorowsky's Dune is my favorite film documentary at the moment, at least.
I mean, I think it is sort of great. I mean, obviously, it's moving with the times that Obviously a lot of these documentaries you could only sort of get as DV extras and things like that. And I think
Yeah.
with streaming being as big as it is, we're getting so many more of these documentaries that are made by people who love a film or love a genre, or
Yeah.
like the In Search of Darkness documentaries.
Oh
And
yeah, that's up there as well. In Search of Darkness Part 3, because the one I'm in. Like yeah, no, that is genuinely it's like 4.5 hours,
mm,
and it's all deep cut horror films. It isn't like the first two are all about like, very well known horror films. The third one is more about like, VHS oddities and it's a really good one to kind of beef up your horror watch list.
yes, I
Um,
definitely did when I watched all of them, to be fair.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
a good
great. But
one.
we get and there was like, I think, was it last year we had the Robo Doc on.
Oh, that was great as well. Yeah, I
That was
love that.
amazing. That was
Yeah.
amazing because I'd seen, I think it's called Flesh and Steel, which was the documentary on DVD for RoboCop, and that's
Yeah.
pretty damn epic as it is. But
Yeah,
then
yeah,
this
yeah.
one, goes for 3 hours or something like that. But
Oh, there's an Aliens Expand as well from the guys that brought you In Such a Darkness. It is the best documentary about aliens.
all
And
right.
if you yeah, it only came out recently. It's incredible. They interviewed James Cameron, Sigourney Weaver. They have absolutely everyone, and you haven't Galen heard everyone.
Oh wow.
Um, it's really, really good documentary.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to find that because I mean, I love
Oh,
my
you'll love it.
the original co-host of this podcast, Liam. When we first met, we bonded over our love of the Beast Within documentary from the Alien Quadrology
Oh,
DVD set,
nice.
and
Yeah,
we
yeah,
we
yeah.
still to this day quote that documentary to each other ad
Yeah.
nauseum.
Do you know what? I do like that documentary. I think this is better. I think that the stories, because you always think you know everything about, like, especially aliens. It's so well documented. There's like a
Yeah.
million documentaries, but like the stories, especially that James Cameron tells, like I haven't heard these stories before.
Mm.
So it's finding new nuggets of gold for a film that you thought had already been mined.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And I must shout out the I can't remember what it's called now. I think it's called Dangerous Days, which was the documentary on the final cut of Blade Runner,
Oh yeah, yeah,
which
yeah.
that's about 3-4 hours long, something like that, and that's
Hmm.
just incredible as well. But
Nice.
I can listen to Ridley Scott talk about making films for
Yeah,
days.
exactly.
Just maybe not the films he makes these days, unfortunately.
Oh,
God bless him. But anyway, we'll call that the end of the intermission, and we'll head back to the main episode. Okay, so we're coming back with episode 34 and the best British gangster film. So this was Tarquin and Jamie on this episode, with Tarquin's choice of The Craze from 1990 and Jamie's choice of The Long Good Friday from 1980. Now, gangster films, are you generally a fan of gangster films, Jed?
I don't like the Guy Ritchie ones. I just don't like that stuff. It's not for me, unfortunately. Um, but like in general, yeah, I like crime movies, so yeah.
Okay.
These like I love The Craze, great movie. Long Good Friday is obviously a real classic, and it's really good to see London before some of the skyscrapers and some of it was built up. I saw a little featurette behind the scenes of Long Good Friday as well. Relatively recently, it just popped up on YouTube. It was really good, just showing some of the kind of locations and things.
All right.
Um, yeah, but best British gangster movie is difficult because what do you class as, just because it's filmed here doesn't necessarily mean it's British.
Okay.
That's the thing. Um, yeah, would you class like would you class like hooligan movies as British gangster movies, or is that a whole
Eh,
different subgenre?
People have in the past, yeah. So I think you get away with that, yeah.
If some maybe I do really like Green Street. But to be honest, it probably is Long Good Friday. That's just the classic British gangster movie that I love. Though I did, I grew up watching The Craze on VHS a lot. Just
Mm.
I was obsessed with it. Um, so yeah, there's not too many to choose from if you don't count the Guy Ritchie ones.
Hmm.
I mean, there are a lot of British gangster movies that come out now. Like there's like thousands every year, but they're just not great. They're just not
What
great.
what did you think of Legend?
I actually really like Legend. Actually, that's a good one. It's not as good as The Craze,
Hmm.
um, but I thought it was, the performances were amazing in it. But it was just, I've seen this story before. That's the only thing,
Yeah, yeah. I think because a lot of people are sort of obviously when we talked about the craze and when it's sort of come up on these episodes,
Yeah,
a lot of people, quite surprisingly to me, because I thought it was a very well loved film, Legend,
yeah,
um, don't like it for some reason. I mean, I didn't love it, but I thought
yeah,
it was, like you say, the performances.
yeah.
Tom Hardy's pretty damn good in it, and some of
Really,
the
really good. Yeah,
some of the sort of outside characters in that film are really strong as well. But
exactly. And, I mean, this might be cheating, but Kill List is probably, that's about gangsters, I guess.
yeah,
So
that's a good shout. Yeah.
it's a little bit of a cheat because it's a horror movie as well, but Kill List is amazing.
Yeah, Kill List is chef's kiss.
Yeah.
Kill List. Um, okay, so then we're going to move to episode 36, which was best babysitting movie. With
hmm
my choice of Uncle Buck from 1989 and
hmm
Vanessa's choice of Adventures in Babysitting from 1987.
Both amazing choices. John Hughes coded movies. Um, I love both of these movies. Love Uncle Buck a lot, but I love Adventures in Babysitting. Just the way that film starts with like her like singing into her hairbrush, dancing around. That I was just like it's so cool. And just the soundtrack to both movies is really good, but the soundtrack to Adventures in Babysitting is is amazing.
Mm,
But neither of them are my favorite babysitting movie. My
okay.
favorite babysitting movie is When a Stranger Calls and When a Stranger Calls Back, the TV movie.
Yes. Good
Uh,
shout.
when a strange,
Maybe not quite so much on two, but
obviously the first one's a classic, but part two for me is the better movie
okay.
because because the kind of twist in the first one that was well known before I'd even seen the movie,
Mm,
because it's like an urban legend.
yeah.
But the twist in the second one, I don't know if you remember it,
Yes. Oh God,
but
yes. Yeah.
it's insane. And it's like that is so inventive and so clever. I love it. And it was genuinely a shock when I first saw it. I was like, holy shit, this is cinema. And that was a TV movie as well.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, so when the remakes are horrible, but yeah, those original two When a Stranger Calls movies is probably my favorite. I mean, and then obviously um I was gonna say is Scream a babysitting movie? No.
No. I mean, Halloween is
Yeah.
technically.
I guess technically it really is, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um I mean no, but like for me When a Stranger Calls, that's the babysitting movie
I'm
for
trying to
me.
think if I've seen the remake. In the remake, is it the
Yeah.
guy? Is it Tommy Flanagan who plays the killer in it?
Oh God, I don't know. I can't
I
remember.
can't remember
I think I watched it in the cinema and I blocked it out of my mind.
now.
Yeah.
Too right, but yeah, great choice. And I mean, yes, I've not thought about When a Stranger Calls Back for a long time, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Not many people have.
No, no, Jesus. Well, yeah, what a twist. It
Mm,
is. It is pretty epic. I mean, it's up there with 80s twists in it of
yeah.
sleepaway camp and and
Oh yeah.
just bonkers, bonkers. We're starting going back with episode 40, which was worst Stephen King adaptation, with Vanessa's choice of Dreamcatcher from 2003 and Tarquin's choice of Thinner from 1996.
Um, I actually like both those movies. I actually like both of those movies. especially Thinner. I think Thinner is really interesting, and Dreamcatcher is bonkers, and there are some real interesting things like in that film. There's there's worse. The recent remakes of Carrie,
Mm,
they are bad. They are really bad. The one with Hit Girl in it, Chloe Moretz
mm,
is not good. And then they made a sequel to that. It was no good as well.
mm.
So I personally think any Stephen King adaptation made like pre 2005, they are all good. Like they're all good. Even the TV movies, there's just something about them. They all have this like connective tissue. And Mick Garris did a lot of them too. And I'm a friend of Mick Garris. Is a good friend of mine. So I'm never gonna say anything bad about his adaptations. And he did loads of them.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, no, those ones, Dreamcatcher and Thinner, are probably. I wouldn't say they're the worst.
Okay.
The Carrie remakes are the worst. I
I
think.
think the TV, the sort of mini series of Stephen King. I think they they always seem to capture the more sort of drama side of Stephen King really
Yeah.
well. They
Hmm.
obviously most of them didn't have the budget for the
Yeah.
horror, and they couldn't really go to the lengths of the horror, could they? I mean, it's probably the
Oh,
closest
yeah.
for sort of network television, but
Yeah.
some of
I
them
think
just couldn't go as hard.
I
The
think
Stand, yeah,
the stand was very, very good. I've got that on double VHS.
yeah,
Um, Really, really, really well done. Well, one of the best adaptations, I think. But yeah, the miniseries is perfect.
mm,
Um, I guess the recent it too was pretty bad. Um,
yeah, yeah. I think yeah, it was a tough one. That one really tough. But
yeah,
have you watched been watching Welcome to Derry?
yeah, love it. Yeah, very good.
Yeah,
Are
I
you
was
enjoying it?
blown away by it so far. I really
Yeah.
didn't. I was the first couple of episodes. I was like, I'm not quite sure where this is going and whether it's going to
Mm,
work or not. But I
yeah.
watched is it episode 8, 7, or the penultimate episode.
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah,
watched
yeah.
that last night, and Jesus
Mm.
Christ, the
Oh, it's insane. Because I'm in total agreement with you. Like it felt like, oh, is this a Stranger Things kind of rip off a little bit? Which I know Stranger Things kind of like is a riff on, it a little bit as well. But um it just felt too Stranger Things at the start. But it just making Pennywise scary again, and his introduction in like a couple of episodes ago was really, really good, and yeah, just really cool storylines. And yeah, then the penultimate episode, as you said, was just like so full of action, like unbelievable, really.
yeah,
Yeah.
really, really, really is. And yeah, I'm looking forward to see what they do with that because I think they're going back, aren't they? So the next series is going to be um, the Bradley Gang Massacre, I think, or something like
Oh,
that.
nice. Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
then the next series after that is going to be the Kitchener Ironworks as
Oh,
I can't remember the word they use for it, the augmentary or something like that, where the
yeah,
big event that sort of sends it back to its sleep kind of thing.
yeah. Oh, nice. Very, very interesting.
Because I mean, to me, they were always really interesting parts of the book that
Yeah,
never made it into any of the adaptations. But yeah,
yeah.
it's
Oh,
fantastic.
actually, I do need to give a shout out to a lot of people think that the adaptation for oh my God, what's it called now? What's the one on the plane where they are stuck in?
Langoliers.
Yeah, I love the Langoliers again. I remember showing that to Rob on VHS because he hadn't seen it, and then we instantly was like, okay, we should remake this. Um, but yeah, it's a great. I love that adaptation. I know the effects. I think they were done on an Amiga 500. Like genuinely, were done on an Amiga 500.
Hmm.
Um, but I thought they were cool, and I like that storyline. And um, I think you could possibly do a remake now.
Hmm.
You might have to add. add some different monsters maybe, and maybe add some more monsters because it is quite meandering for long
Mm.
periods. Um, Another bad one, Salem's Lot 2. Um, yeah, but that's hardly Stephen King's fault.
No, no. Well, I mean, it kind of feels with Welcome to Derry that we're sort of on the cusp of a. I know we kind of got it with Castle Rock, but this sort of Stephen King multiverse or universe, even like the King
Yeah,
MCU kind of thing. It's
yeah,
with the whole
I love it.
Dick Halloran character, which I was again very trepidatious when I saw him. Sort of announced as Dick Halloran's going to be in the whole series, and it's like
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
the
yeah,
best
yeah.
part of it.
It is very, very, very interesting. I don't think they should do too many things like that in it, because we
Yeah,
we don't want to take away from Pennywise.
no,
Because it'll end up like, like a James Wan movie where you're just throwing so much stuff at it to try and spin things off. Like if you watch the Nun 2, like there's so many different monsters in it, like it takes away from the Nun. And I
yeah.
don't want that to happen to Pennywise, because he is, just such an iconic horror antagonist that it
Mm.
should just be him. I'm a bit worried that his daughter character in it, like, is taken away from him a little bit. I'm just like, she doesn't need to be in it. But
No,
anyway,
no.
it's uh, it's
Well, I
a,
mean,
it's a
she's
great
only got
show.
one more episode to make a difference because then we're going
Yeah,
back in time again, so it should be
yeah,
fine.
yeah, yeah,
Okay, so moving to episode 48, which was the best Bong Joon-ho film
yeah.
with, oh God, I forgot my own co-host name. With Nicole's choice of Snowpiercer from 2013 and guest Kevin Lyons' choice of The Host from 2006.
Both amazing choices. Obviously the host, something, some similarities there with our film host. Um, but like, yeah, when I first the host was the first film I saw of his, and absolutely blew me away. But like, quite obviously, to me at least, his best film's Parasite.
Mm.
And if it's not Parasite, it's probably Memories of Murder.
I still
Uh,
haven't seen Memories of Murder. I need to
oh,
watch that. I need
it,
to watch it.
it's almost perfect. It's like, if he didn't have Parasite, Memories of Murder would be his best movie by
Right.
far. It's so good. And like, just the lore behind it as well. Like, because it's based on a real serial killer, and like the lore is like the real serial killer saw Memories of Murder, and I think that's how he was caught. Like, it's insane, the lore behind Memories of Murder. It's really good. But Parasite is a perfect movie. One of the very, 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 very few movies that, to me, like, is untouchable. When I first saw that in the cinema just before lockdown, I was just like, what's the point in trying to be a filmmaker when there is no way in hell anyone can make a movie better than Parasite? It's
Yeah.
impossible. Who is going to make a better movie than Parasite? Like, it's impossible.
I mean,
It's so good.
it's one of those films, and I'd seen it way after the sort of the hype was sort of dying down.
Hmm.
And I think I saw it actually after it won the Oscar as well. That was the first time I saw it, and I thought,
Hmm.
and you always get a bit of trepidation because you think this is not going to live up to the hype.
Yeah.
This isn't going to blow me away like it's probably blown away a lot of other people. But it is just so intricate, that story, and such the
Yeah.
performances
Oh
are
God, yeah.
incredible, and you just I love it when a film can just pull the rug from under me. It is just
Yeah.
so amazing, and even even I even found that with Snowpiercer, to be fair, because I'd not
Hmm.
seen that until we recorded the episode last year,
Yeah.
and I kind of avoided
Great
it
movie.
because it looked very much like a foreign director who's been successful is doing an American film, an English
Yeah.
language film, and they don't tend to turn out very good
Yeah.
when that happens. But I just again not prepared for where that film goes to at all.
Hmm.
And the host was another first time watch for me when we
Hmm.
recorded this episode, And again, just it's a film about a big fish, but
Yeah.
but it's just everything else that's around it is just perfect,
Yeah.
absolutely incredible. And I need to get Memories of Murder watched.
Oh yeah, yeah. I even liked Mickey 17, it's a bit of a step down from Parasite, but I thought Mickey 17 was good. It was like a featured version of Red Dwarf. It was very Red Dwarf
Oh
coded
wow!
to
Oh,
me.
I do like my Red Dwarf.
Yeah, it felt like a feature length episode of Red Dwarf. It really did.
Oh
Like
wow!
even the same kind of, tone in places and um yeah, it's very Red Dwarf.
Wow. Oh, I'm gonna have to check it out
Yeah.
then. Excellent. And then your last subject for this evening, so episode 49, the
hmm
best Patrick Swayze film, with guest Tia's choice of Dirty Dancing from 1987, and Vanessa's choice of Roadhouse from 1989. Are you a
Love
fan of Mr. Swayze?
Yeah, he's amazing. Love both those movies. During lockdown, actually just before we made Host, we would go onto Zoom every day and we would watch Patrick Swayze movies. We were trying
Oh
to watch
wow!
all of his movies. So that's what like the Host group were doing before Host, just doing like because I don't you could do like a Netflix party where you could like all watch at the same time and comment along the side while we're watching it. So we were doing that and you know love both these movies. But out of those two, Dirty Dancing's probably the better film.
Mhm.
But my favorite performance of Patrick Swayze is probably in Donnie Darko.
All right. Okay.
Because Donnie Darko is one of my favorite movies. Um, so he's in that. So I've got to say Donnie Darko. I
Oh, see,
love Donnie
see,
Darko.
I thought you were going to go with Ghost.
No, Ghost is amazing. I know it's an Oscar-winning movie. Um, it's hard. He was in so many good movies. Red Dawn, you know. Oh, he's in so many good movies.
Yeah, he was. He was, and I think he doesn't. I mean, he's got such a presence. I think, hasn't he?
Yeah.
I'm not going to, put money on it and say he's one of the best actors in the world, but
No, 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 no.
he had such a great sort of presence to him. And you watch,
He did, yeah.
I think particularly Roadhouse was probably his first sort of
Mm,
Patrick Swayze movie. It's like you get sort of
yeah.
um well, no, this is going to sound like a disservice to him, but you get like Jason Statham movies or
Yeah.
Steven Seagal movies. They're the only two really examples, but they're shit. But
Yeah.
I can't really.
Though I did
Um,
love The Beekeeper from Jason Statham recently. Beekeeper was a good movie.
I haven't watched the Peak. Yeah, I mean, it's Seagal more than
Yeah.
Statham. Statham's still done a few good ones.
Mhm.
But bless him, they just tend to be the same film.
Yeah.
But
But
decent same films, not like
yeah.
Seagal, where the shit
Oh
same
God,
films.
yeah. He's fallen off the cliff. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's just gone off to live in North Korea now, anyway, hasn't he, or
Yeah.
something like that, doing his
Russia, he's in Russia.
doing his whatever it is. What is it? It's something weird in it. He just these videos of him just throwing people with his fingers and stuff, and you're like,
Oh
just
yeah, it's absolute BS.
get a grip. Okay, all right. Well, that brings us to the end of our list for this evening, Jed. But I mean, if you've got a bit of time, I can throw you a few quick fire ones from some of our other subjects.
Sure, go for it.
Let's go. Some quick snappy answers from you here then. So each year we do what we call a mega duel, where all five of us pick um, a film from a chosen subject. Our first one was the best Steven Spielberg movie.
Ooh. What was your choice? Oh,
Jaws.
good shout. I could be very hipstery and say Jewel, but that's not true. It's E.T. for me. Like I love E.T. Uh, I love E.T. a lot. It's hard to be there, but I love Temple of Doom as well. Um, but it's probably E.T. That's the film that stayed with me, and
Well, E.T. was Tarquin's choice, so we'll be glad you agreed with him.
yeah.
But we did an episode on worst prequels, and Tarquin actually picked Temple of Doom. So
Mhm.
you've probably he'll probably not like you for that. But anyway, tough. And then this year we did best horror movie ever,
Wow.
which our choices. Well, my choice was The Exorcist, and then we had The
Nice.
Thing, The Omen, Alien, and Scream. They
The
were our five
Omen.
choices.
An Alien. Ooh, interesting. Um, no, my favorite film is Night of the Comet.
Yeah.
As you're aware, to me that's the best movie. But if it wasn't that, Blair Witch Project, it,
Mm,
one of the most popular horror films, the most successful horror film based on return on investment. And I'm so ingrained in the Blair Witch world now, and
mm.
I've been out to Burkittsville a couple of times, and and hung out in the woods and made stick men with Ed Sanchez, and so yeah, so and I made a whole documentary about it as
Yeah.
well. So, and I'm the only person who's seen like all the footage from the original cameras from the Blair Witch Project, from Heather's, high eight tapes and 16 mil. I think I'm one of the very few people besides
Wow.
the two directors have seen everything. So for me, it's Blair Witch Project by far.
So jealous.
Yeah, and
Making
legit.
stick men with the directors of Blair Witch Project.
Oh yeah, he
I
showed
bet you
me.
had a grin on your face for days, didn't you?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And then like um, I have you know, when they went to Sundance, they had these amazing like early prototype Blair Witch posters
Mm,
where it has like kids' handprints all over it in like glossy. Like the poster's matte and all the kids' handprints are like glossy. So like
wow.
it's so cool. And it was only for Sundance.
Yeah.
And then Ed gave me one of those posters.
Oh,
I was so happy. Yeah,
wow.
yeah,
Wow. Oh,
yeah. Ed's become a real good mate. Like over the years. So
oh, great.
um, yeah, it's the best. That film's amazing.
You're living the dream, man. You're living the dream.
We'll see. There's still a lot of dreams to be had. But yeah, like it's cool.
Okay, so what else have we got? Best Bond film. You a Bond fan?
Ooh, I mean, I do like Bond a little bit. Spy Who Loved Me, probably just because I love the theme song. Yeah, I like that. GoldenEye because I love the game.
They were the two choices actually. Spy Who Loved Me, which was
Yeah,
Jamie's choice, and mine was GoldenEye. Yeah,
GoldenEye is bloody great. Out of the recent ones, Skyfall was a really good movie.
yeah, it gets
Um,
picked quite a bit that one.
um,
Uh,
but yeah, yeah, it's probably The Spy Who Loved Me. I think that's just classic Bond, you know.
yeah, absolutely. I'll give you one more here. So the best Cornetto trilogy film.
Okay, this is controversial. I don't like those movies. I'm sorry, I really don't like those movies. But if I was going to choose Shaun of the Dead,
Okay.
yeah, I just think the tone isn't for me. Um, I did really, really, really like Eggers' other movies outside of that trilogy. I loved Baby Driver. I loved um, what do you call it? Versus the World.
Oh, Scott Pilgrim. Yeah.
Scott Pilgrim was so damn good. Um, but yeah, I just that comedy isn't for me really.
Right now, I'll throw you one more. Actually, last
Mhm.
one. Just because I sort of throw it to quite a few people, and not many of them like the particular franchise. But we did do
Mhm.
an episode on it, so I'm going to throw it to you
Okay.
just in case, because I always it'd be nice to include it. Best Carry On film.
I do not mind the Carry On movies. Oh, there's lots. There's Carry On Screaming, obviously with horror themed. Um, oh, I quite like Carry On Up the Khyber. I do quite like that. It sounds funny to me. But obviously, Carry On Screaming just because of
Yeah,
the horror thing. It's the obvious one.
yeah,
Um, Carry On
yes.
Camping is really cool as well. One of the classic ones.
Somebody,
I
well,
don't know.
one of the people on that episode originally was going to choose Carry On Up the Khyber, and then we mutually decided that we probably can't talk too much about Carry On Up the Khyber.
Uh, Honestly, I might watch that like this week. To me, it's so funny. Those movies are so funny. But then I do have like a child sense of humor, so
Yeah, yeah,
you know,
yeah. It was just more sort of transit. We're going to probably talk too much about what's wrong with the film than what's right with it,
yeah,
unfortunately. But yeah, it's
yeah. And
great.
you know what? The Carry On Cleopatra, which is like one of them. I think that was that the last one they made.
No, I don't think it was. That was sort of the back end, though. I think Carry On Cleo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they made that in yeah, the mid was it the mid 90s?
Oh no. Oh, you mean Columbus? Carry On Columbus was 92.
Oh,
That was their last
I
one.
think they made one after that.
No, it's definitely
Oh,
Columbus.
really?
Yeah, 1992. Yeah,
Okay. What's the one with Julian Clary in it?
that is Carry On Columbus. Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
yeah, yeah.
I like. There's parts of that one I like. Then, yeah, yeah. I can't really remember it, but like, yeah,
Julian
nuts.
Cleary. Yeah.
What a crazy movie.
Remember Julian Cleary? Jesus.
Did he die?
No, he's still about. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. I think he took a nosedive when he made the joke about fisting Norman Lamont.
Oh,
Um,
geez, that was a long time ago.
God bless him. There we go. And on fisting politicians, we shall call it a day on this episode, I think.
Yeah, but no, it's been amazing to talk horror with you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jed. It's been an absolute pleasure. And do you want to tell people where they can find you and anything else that you want to
Yeah,
push plug?
the only social media that I look at is Instagram. That's like at Jed Shepherd, JedShepherd. I'm on a bunch of the others, but like I haven't used them in a while. I haven't used Twitter in ages. Blue Sky, I think I'm on there, but I haven't used it in a million years. It's really only Instagram, and I
Yeah.
barely even use that. In an ideal world, I will just come off socials completely, um, because most of the people I admire are not on social media, so I kind of want to be like that. Um,
I'm
but
the
yeah,
same. I'm the same. I keep thinking I need a break from social media, but then
yeah.
I'm like, and all these people that do it, and I'm like, they've just got so much more willpower than me.
If you've got things like, if you've got a podcast, I get it, you have to kind of promote it and stuff, but or like a new film out. That's the only reason I have it in case I have something out. But yeah, I've got some feature films lined up that I'm writing and directing, um, which hopefully both will come out in 2026.
Oh, excellent.
And I'm a producer on a million short films, the aforementioned ones with Ed Sanchez and Roman Coppola. They'll all come out in the next year. Um, yeah, and I'm just writing stuff and yeah.
Excellent.
Oh, I'm a producer on a really cool movie which I think is going to be made very soon as well, where with some cool people. I was about to tell you there, but I was realized like I can't. It hasn't been announced yet, but yeah, it's with a big studio. It's a big studio movie.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, it's gonna be cool. It's
Excellent.
a fun
Excellent.
2026.
And I've just remembered that my one of my co-hosts, Nicole, has asked me to ask you a question actually.
Yep.
So it's probably a good job at the end because if you don't want to answer it, you don't have to.
Okay.
How did you get involved with Birdemic 2?
Very good question. Very good question. I get so many questions about Birdemic. It's so funny. Um, so that was my first credit. That was just before me and Rob made our first short film. Um, Basically, I was a fan of the original movie. I love the original movie, and I didn't know how to be in movies or like be involved. So I first of all I emailed Alan, maybe I emailed Whitney as well, from the cast of Birdemic. I was just like, "Are you guys making a sequel? I'd love to be involved." And I didn't know how to be involved, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we'll oh yeah." And I messaged James, the director as well. He never answered, but they put me in touch with a producer who was trying to. raise money for a sequel, because the first one did so well. Like, for a film that was made for 10 grand, it was every front page of the New York Times. It was playing at the Prince Charles, and all over the world it was playing. So, I was just like, this is a crazy move. I'd love to be involved. And spoke to the producer, who had come off, all he'd made before is softcore pornography. His name was Jeff Gross. And he didn't really know what he was doing. I didn't either. So he was like, "Oh, so you want to be involved?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he did the first thing. "Oh, so do you have money?" And I was just like, "No, I'm not going to put any money into this." And he was like, "Okay, so how can you help?" And I was like, "Well, I will get the film, once it's made, into all the festivals, um, all the cinemas, and but I was like, I didn't know how to do that." Um, but so he was like, "Cool," and if you could do all that, what would you want to be in it? I was like, "I'll co-producer," and he was like, "Okay, cool." And then all of a sudden, the film got funded, and I was like, "Oh wow, okay." So, and like I read the script, and it was like, "Oh, this is bad." But the whole thing was we weren't allowed to make James change anything. It had to be James's vision. So to keep that the same kind of craziness, but the script was so bad. But anyway, film was made, and I just literally called up cinemas and festivals all around Europe, and got them into everywhere. Got them into a London premiere at festival, and the festival paid for all the cast and crew to fly over. I did my part of the deal. I got it everywhere. I got it distributed everywhere, and um, it was a fun experience. I actually learned a lot from that experience.
I mean, that sounds like a movie plot in and of its own.
You,
Just
yeah, you don't even know, like, behind it was crazy behind the scenes, just like, because you know, James is an individual. When he was in London, because he thinks he's the reincarnation of Hitchcock, so I was taking him to all the Hitchcock kind of like places in London, and he's an absolute nutbag, absolute nutcase. But it was cool to be part of
yeah.
Birdemic 2. I was actually meant to be part of Birdemic 3. They made Birdemic 3, which I haven't even seen. Contractually, I was meant to be involved, but they didn't call me, and I didn't call them. Um, but yeah, it was. I just
Amazing.
basically forced myself into that
Yeah,
franchise.
amazing. That's amazing. Such a great story. That
But yeah, it's a good
fantastic.
start, and it probably helps me like with later things on how to
Yeah,
deal with difficult people.
absolutely. And killer birds. Uh,
Yeah,
Excellent. Okay. Well, again, thank you so much, Jed. It's been an absolute delight, an absolute pleasure to have you here on the Movie Duel podcast. And
thanks, man.
just leaves me to say goodbye, and for Jed to say,
See, this is the problem with these things. Daddy would have gotten us Uzis.